Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all fit, well, and healthy. Um, it's another video. There was a couple of people that have mentioned this subject, and it's all about the underrated guitar players that we've got in this music world of ours that never really seem to get mentioned. Andy Ford was spot on with his video. So the guy that is the underrated guitar player is that chap behind me there, Bill Nelson. So he is, for me, definitely the most underrated guitar player that we've got. However, there are some more, and I'm just going to give you 5 of them. So I don't want to make it too long, So hopefully this little video will perhaps influence you to go and look at these 5 guitar players, because they are truly extraordinary and exceptional players. So okay, I'll kick the thing right off. The first one I'm going to show is this chap called Nick Harper. He is the son of Roy Harper, himself a fantastic guitar player. But this chap, I've got most of his albums. I thought I'd show you this one. This is a sort of best of from 2010 to 2014. He started in the mid-90s, and he is a truly extraordinary acoustic guitar player. The things that he can do with the instrument are truly exceptional, and he has been name-checked by many people, not least Jimmy Page and David Gilmour, who have both played with his dad, of course. This chap is an exceptional player. To be seen live, to really experience the chap. He really does sound like he's using loops and pedals and things, and he's not. He's just incredible. He certainly doesn't do it now, but one of his main things, he'd purposely break a string on stage and carry on with the tune and change the string. It's just incredible what the guy can do. He has touched on all sorts of different genres of music. So on here is touching on the rockier side of his stuff. On here, a lot of the stuff are with a band, but he's more suited to him to just playing on his own, with his acoustic. He's a fantastic live performer. He tours most years, and he's definitely well worth checking out. His first album, Light at the End of the Kenner, which is only on CD, I've only got it on CD, is the first introduction that he gave, and that's truly an extraordinary album. So if you see that one, try and pick that up. But this is probably a good starting point, one of his wilderness years. I think there were 4 in this series, and they were touching on all his best stuff throughout his career. So pick one of those, or go on Spotify or go on YouTube or whatever and check him out. But this is my first one then. Nick Harper. Fantastic guitar player. The next one I'm going to show you is a Canadian chap. And this is certainly his from his solo output is probably his most popular one, and this is Michael Brook, Cobalt Blue. I don't think there's anybody at the moment that can do what he does with the guitar. He invented this infinite guitar device, and what it does, it can produce loops and produce any sound on the guitar, be it a piano or a drum or a bass or any other instrument that you can think of. He can produce that. And the thing about the infinite guitar, it's got a sustain element on it that goes on forever. This chap now concentrates mainly on film soundtracks, you know, so he doesn't do a great deal of solo albums. He's only done 4, and they're all exceptional. He's played with many people. Robert Fripp, David Sylvian, Brian Eno, Roger Eno, Daniel Lanois. Both Eno and Lanois are on there. But what I do find interesting is his collaborations in world music, not least with Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. He made 2 incredible albums with him. Night Song, check that one out. But this one is truly spectacular, this album. The track to go for, I would say, on here is Ultramarine. And that gives you the full scope of what the effect of the infinite guitar can do. It's truly exceptional. What he did do, though, he gave that sort of blessing to use that device to the Edge in U2. And he did make an album with the Edge, actually. But when you hear songs like With or Without You, Where the Streets Have No Name, that is Edge using the infinite guitar, which came from Michael Brook. A truly exceptional guitar player. And he should get mentioned a great deal, but he doesn't. And he should do. He's fabulous. Okay, the next one then. This chap, for me, there are many acoustic players that I love, not least Nick Harper, I should say. I think this chap is probably the finest and most gifted acoustic guitar player on the planet. He's 81 now, but he can still do it, and it's Leo Kottke. This is his live album, My Feet Are Smiling. I love that title. From 1973, actually recorded in 1972 on the 16th of December of that year. Truly exceptional player. He's known for his picking on the guitar. He did play a lot of slide, and he did play a lot of 12 string as well. But in his mid-career, he started to have problems with his tendons, so he had to change his style. On this album is lightning speed on here. He still is amazing, but he did have problems. I think it was 75, 76 when he changed from Capitol to Chrysalis Records. That he had to change his style a little bit because he couldn't. The tendons were knackered on his hands, so he had to go away and get surgery done, and then he changed his style. But he is an extraordinary musician. You need to check him out. He's touched on all sorts of different forms, country, experimental music, orchestral music, rock. He's done it all, you know. He does sing, but he doesn't like doing it. But I think he's got a good voice. This is mainly instrumental. This album is probably my favourite, hence me showing it. But Leo Kottke, go and check him out. He's such a fantastic guitar player that never gets mentioned by the wider public. The music fraternity, they know exactly who he is, and you know, when Leo picks up a guitar, it's like 2 or 3 other people playing with him, and you're looking around. Where are the other guitar players? Well, there ain't any. It's just him. It's just incredible. There's not a lot of people that can cover Leo. There are a few out there. Don't get me wrong. There are some good videos of people covering his music, but he's something else. You know, 81 years old now, and he's still going. Fantastic. So, Leo Kottke. This chap has been actually called the greatest guitar player on the planet by quite a few musicians, actually. But you never, when you see these lists of the top 20 best guitar players in the world, or whatever, the people that I'm showing here never ever turn up. And this is one of them. This is the Giuritti column, and it's Vinnie Riley. Vinnie is one of the greatest. There's no doubt about it, and a lot of musicians will tell you this. Johnny Marr, who always gets mentioned a great deal, was a great guitar player himself. Vinnie Riley is his favourite guitar player. So, and Vinnie has touched, again, like Leo. Leo is predominantly acoustic. Vinnie is electric, does acoustic, but not very often. But what he does, he complements his music. On here, he's just on his own. Literally just, I think, he's just on his own on this one. Let's have a quick look. No, Bruce is on here. Bruce's percussion is on here. But everything is done by Vinnie. So all the guitars, and he plays all the keyboards and things. But later in his career with Factory, he started to bring more classical musicians in. So he had orchestras and string quartets and things coming in, as Leo did on his later stuff. But like Leo's got a very distinctive sound. Vinnie is exactly the same. As soon as you hear a track by the Giuritti column, which is Vinnie Riley, you know it's him. Straight, it's just got that tone and that beautiful resonance and sound about his playing. And you can hear that every tune that he plays is heart on his sleeve. He's given it 100% every track that he's doing. It's from the heart, you know, and you can feel that emotion in the music. My daughter actually was named after the track, and third track on the first side there, Jacqueline. That's how affected I was by that track, and he seems to play that still. It's not very often he goes out now. It's not been very, very well. But this is their second, I'm showing you their second album, LC this is. But his later stuff as well. It's all beautiful stuff. He has attempted to sing a couple of times. He's not the best singer in the world. But he has done some incredible things. Tony Wilson, the head of Factory Records, Vinny was the first one to be signed to Factory Records, and Tony Wilson absolutely adored the bloke. He was his favourite artist, hence him signing him to Factory Records. So, if you want, it's beautiful, emotional music. It can go off and be a bit rocky, but not very often. It's very serene, and it's very beautifully crafted music. John Metcalfe, who's a classical composer now, he joined him in his mid-career, so the end of the 90s into the end of the 80s into the early 90s. John Metcalfe was there playing viola with him, and some of the stuff that they produced together was just absolutely beautiful. Another album that I would suggest that you check out by Vinny is just called Vinny Riley, and there is a track called Otis on there. That is probably my favourite track by Vinny. It is absolutely gorgeous, and on that particular track is using samples of Otis Redding, of course, hence Otis, and Tracy Chapman, and it's beautiful. It is absolutely gorgeous. So, the unsung and underrated and genius that is Vinny Riley. I don't know why he's never ever mentioned in any guitar listings. Exactly the same as Bill. My last one then does come up from time to time. But for me, along with Bill, because it's a tie, I do believe that Bill Nelson and John McLaughlin are the two greatest living guitar players on the planet. This is a wonderful Montreux collection that John put together himself. This came out last year, 2022, and it is extraordinary. So it's a more of a jazz feel. The thing about John McLaughlin, he can play any genre of music, be it rock, jazz, experimental music, world music. His Shakti records are truly and utterly extraordinary. Mahavishnu Orchestra, what more can I say about that? His stuff with Miles Davis and his many, many different lineups that he's had over the years, and a lot of them are on here actually. So you've got the John McLaughlin Trio, you've got the One Truth Band, Mahavishnu Orchestra's on here, and it's just outrageous. The Heart of Things, him and Paco de Lucia's on here as well, another great undersung hero. The Free Spirits and the Fourth Dimension. That's just a few of his groups that he's put together, with world-class musicians. But this guy for me, he is the greatest guitar player along with Bill Nelson on the planet at the moment. There's no one that can touch him. When you see these top 10, top 20 guitar listings, and without this bloke and without that guy there, I get so frustrated, Vinny, you could mention as well, to be perfectly honest. All of the ones that I've just mentioned could be in there. Another chap, an honorary mention has got to go to Jan Ackerman from Focus. He's another guy that never comes up. But I do get frustrated, angry when this guy never appears. He blows them all away. Just incredible. He's a bit like Andy Ford said that, when Jimi Hendrix was asked a question, what's it like being the greatest guitar player in the world? And he said, go and ask Rory Gallagher. And I can't disagree with that neither. Well, go and ask him what it's like to be the greatest guitar player in the world, along with Bill Nelson, because they are fantastic. There isn't a starting point for John McLaughlin. You know, there's never done a best of, because if they did, it would be something like a 10 CD box set or something. So where to start is very, very difficult for me to put you in the direction. It depends on what type of music you like. If you like jazz fusion, it's the Mahavishnu Orchestra. If you like world music, it's Shakti. If you like rock music, then it's going to be something like, The Fourth Dimension is John McLaughlin Trio. If you want an acoustic, one of the finest acoustic live albums ever recorded, well, there's two now actually, Friday Night and Saturday Night in San Francisco, with John McLaughlin, Paco de Lucia, and Al Di Meola. Mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. Those two albums. Well, the new album, The Saturday Night, has only just come out. It only came out, I think, 2 years ago now. So they've found another concert. But the Friday Night one is just truly and utterly extraordinary. So I could talk a long time about John McLaughlin, but I'm not going to. All I will say is that if you've never heard this chap, he can play anything. Absolutely anything. Any genre of music, be it folk, rock, jazz, fusion, world, is there. He's the best. He is the best. So there we go. There's my 5, with the honorary mention going to definitely Jan Ackerman. Jan Ackerman. There are more, but I'll be here all day. Okay, thank you all very much for your time. Please go and investigate and see what you think. And if you do go and take your, put your foot in the water on one of them, please let me know in the comments what you think. Okay, right. Thanks very much. Have a lovely, lovely weekend, and I'll see you the next time. Bye-bye.